out. So I know, Shane, over at Citizen and Immigration Services, there's a lot of activity going on over there, a lot of different priorities, things that you're trying to do to enable, the workforce in this sort of remote environment, operating environment. What priorities do you have in your job jar these days?
Yeah, USCIS was not satisfied by a single cloud. We wanted to do multi-cloud. So one of the big initiatives we're pushing is to go multi-cloud. What does that mean from a system side? That means microservices and serverless deployments and the like, and the technologies around that. When you start looking at it from a security perspective, you've actually fundamentally changed what a system looks like. Actually, in so many ways, it doesn't even meet the definition under FISMA of what a system is. So we have to begin re-looking at how we authorize that, how we manage that, and more importantly, how we secure that. We're currently utilizing 3 different cloud providers and beginning our deployments across those clouds. So we have to be able to secure all that, and that's where when I began my conversation, I talked about the importance of respecting the chaos. And that means having a very fluid, very nimble, security program that can pivot. So when COVID hit, one of the things we had to do was pivot and begin dealing with a workforce that on any given day was 5,000 teleworkers going to something, north of 20,000. What is the impact for an agency like us that requires in-person interviews, requires the ability to meet with the public? How do we handle that? So they quickly had to deploy interviewing technology that allows us to still interview people, but not do it face-to-face. That's a big lift. And not only that, they wanted to incorporate it. It wasn't enough just to have a webcam set up that does point-to-point. No, they have to have it all integrated into the systems so that they can sign and capture video and all these things. Our development teams were able to do that and do it quickly. And then the next piece, of course, is all the security wrapping around that. And so how do we manage all that? And so our focus has been having a security program that can pivot like that and move and function kind of like the agile development teams do. And in many ways we are. So, the focus for us is on that automation and on making sure that the tools that we have in place are not focused on the past, but more focused on what's coming up next. And so everything we do now is sort of focused on, hey, next generation, next this, next that, and never being satisfied with the status quo. Because I think that's sort of the trap that a lot of organizations, especially on the security side, we kind of get caught up in. That's sort of that compliance mindset. It's like, oh, look, I've got green across my scorecard. I'm good. No, I'm not good. Multi-cloud is a challenge. It doesn't add to your security. It actually makes security more challenging and more interesting. But at the same time, it offers some really interesting, new ways of doing things. Under the ATO system we're looking at doing, we're going to begin ATOing the pipelines that are developed in. Anything generated out of that pipeline falls under that ATO boundary. What does that mean? ATO in 24 hours. Not a problem.
Fantastic. That dream of ATO in a day is gonna be here at this point. I would imagine that.